Hi guys, hi. This is Pulkit Chhabra. How are you all? Before moving any further, just please confirm if I am audible uh, clearly and visible clearly. I'm just waiting for some of you to confirm, and I'll just move on. Okay, so someone has confirmed that yeah, I am audible. Okay. Hi Om from LinkedIn. Hi Abhimanyu. Hi Ravi. How are you? Yo. Hi everyone. So the agenda for this stream, for this YouTube stream, is to just let you guys know about something that we have come up with, something that we have just launched recently, and it is we are getting sort of huge response for it. Just trying to make sure that the message is being given in a proper manner, and you all just get to know about that. Before moving on to that part, let me just quickly introduce myself for those who don't know me. My name is Pulkit Chhabra. Like I said, I'm currently a fourth year undergraduate student at Delhi Technological University. I've been doing competitive programming for 2.5 plus years now, around I think 2 3 years now, and I've interned with Coordination in the past and HackerRank in the past, and apart from that, I really enjoy doing competitive programming, and have been doing it for a lot of time. And now what I enjoy even more is sort of teaching those concepts that I've learned during my time doing competitive programming to people, right? So, like I said, I have done internships with Coordination and HackerRank. I was also offered internships by Amazon and Goldman Sachs. And if I am to talk about my competitive programming profiles, I generally practice on CodeChef and CodeForces. On CodeChef, my highest rating is 2416, which means 6 star. And on CodeForces, my highest rating as of now is 2246, which means master. So I'm not 100% sure about that, but I think that basically lies in top 50 in India on both the platforms. All right. So this was just a brief introduction about myself. So जिन लोगों को ऑलरेडी पता है, I have been teaching at Unacademy for 2 3 months now, and maybe you guys have attended some of my special classes. So what happens if you guys don't already know, special classes are basically something that has in which different some of the topics are being taught and are streamed on YouTube as well as Unacademy, and which are free of cost. सो व्हाट हैपेंस ड्यूरिंग स्पेशल क्लासेस इज कि आप लोग आते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, मजा आता है, ऑफ कोर्स वी डिस्कस अ बंच ऑफ स्टफ, बट व्हाट हैपेंस इज कि वो जो एक्सपीरियंस है, वो जो लर्निंग है, इट इज सॉर्ट ऑफ restricted to that particular topic only. Like कुछ टॉपिक कवर हो गए, कुछ रह गए. It's more like an unstructured sort of learning path. If you wanna like I'm sure like almost all of you wanna get placed at top companies, and have nice ratings on platforms like CodeChef and CodeForces if you've been doing competitive programming. So like just a quick sort of poll, like how many of कौन कौन चाहता है ये. Of course चाहते ही होंगे लोग. I'm hoping that, because अगर नहीं चाहते हैं तो there's no point of the stream. I'll just end it then now. Hello, Dupto. Okay, someone is saying median level नहीं हो पाता है. So I'm having a look at a lot of yeses. Vamsi says yes. Manan says yes. Lemon says master. Okay. Okay, so the thing is that if you want to achieve all those things, what happens is कि ये चीजें जो आप सीखते हो, शाश्वत says me, okay, Kashwar says, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Kashwar says yes, so there are a lot of yeses I can see. Apurve, Karsh, Mohammed, Priyanka, Anshul, a lot of maybe I think थोड़ा lag है इसलिए मेरे पास late आ रहे हैं ये सब yeses. Okay, so I'll a lot of yeses I think. Okay, I get the idea. Okay, so to do that, what my belief is that the type of learning that happens in some of the special classes that you may have attended, if you have not, I'll just tell you how to attend and sort of look at some of the special classes just in a few minutes. So if you have, then basically you do that, you learn that particular topic, and like I said, to get those things, to be able to crack companies, to be able to have some nice ratings on online platforms like Codeforces and CodeChef, one needs to practice and sort of develop that expertise in each topic, in every sort of topic that is being in every general topic that is being asked in companies, or expected to be seen in questions that are there in different contexts, right? I hope you guys agree with me on this particular thing, right? Again, I may not be able to sort of see because there is a bit of lag. Okay, but I'm sure you guys understand what I'm saying. So for that, there is a batch that we have very recently launched. By very recently, just I mean, what I mean is it's not even a week back. It's an intermediate to advanced level batch called Summit. So I'll just quickly share my screen and talk to you about that particular batch and tell you the details about that batch. In the meantime, if you have some sort of questions, you can keep posting them on the YouTube as well. Maybe I'll try to take some of them. Now I'll be sharing my screen and I'll just sort of talk to you about what the idea behind that particular batch is. So let me just share the screen. Yeah, right. So I hope my screen is visible now. So like I said, it is an exclusive batch which is an intermediate to advanced level batch going like this December, right? So the batch is called Summit. Uh, in this batch, what happens is that like what happens generally is that people it is not that sort of challenging to reach an intermediate level from a beginner level to sort of being able to learn language constructs and being able to know what different topics, different algorithms are. That's not the tricky part. The tricky part is to be able to apply those into the questions that we see, and to be able to learn some of the advanced topics that maybe are not that easily understandable. So that's where the sort of the support basically lacks. So this batch is aimed at providing you the support to do that. Uh, so like I said, it is an intermediate to advanced level batch which gives you a very structured learning pattern to become expert level, to cover a lot of different topics which I'll be getting into just in a couple of minutes, with extension with detailed topic coverage in each sort of uh, topic, and not just it's not just a lot of breadth, but it is also a lot of depth. So we'll go into depth of each and every topic with extensive problem solving. So basically a lot of focus is being given to problem solving as well. So this is of course a common belief, and according to me the truth as well, that in this in subject like data structures and algorithms or computational programming or jump programming is in general, theory is not something which is a major part or something that makes difference. What makes more difference is practice and how many problems that you have solved, what your what your uh, thinking what your thinking pattern is, and all those other things, right? So that is why we do understand the importance of problem solving, and that will be focused upon. I cannot focus enough on the fact that it will be given enough stress. Okay, so now coming on to the second part, which I believe is also one of the most important things when it comes to choosing a learning platform that you know about, deciding whether to opt for it or not, is instructors. So uh, you know for this particular platform, like I said, this batch will be taken by me itself, but if I'm to talk about in general, the instructors are really, like I talked about myself in brief just a minute back. But in general, if I'm to talk about other instructors as well, because if you subscribe for the platform, you'll not just be subscribing for the batch itself. You'll be subscribing for the whole platform. So some of the other educators, some of the other instructors are highly competent minds, like with who have been to ICPC World finalists, ICPC World finals, who are IOI medalists, and have great ratings on Code Forces and Code Chef, and are working in world's sort of top companies like Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, and one educator is from Flipkart, and so on and so forth. Right. So and the third thing that I want to stress upon is that it is a three-way thing. It will help you to crack international coding contests like ICPC, Google Kickstart, Google Code Jam, Facebook Hacker Cup, and so on and so forth. And some of the contests that are held, in India as well. Like there is Codehagon from by Code Nation in India, held every year, and all that stuff. Uh, and secondly, we'll focus on the part of on that part of the question as well, wherein we cover questions that are being sort of asked in top product companies. And so in that way, it is going to help you a lot in getting placed at top product companies as well. And third is creating your own tech company. So it is like a fund data structure and algorithms is like a foundation to anything else in computer science. So by making you sort of very strong in data structures and algorithms, so it can also lay as a foundation for your further journey, wherein you can sort of create a product of your own. All right. So now, coming on to the fourth point, it is like if all these three were not enough, uh, you'll also be sort of given a code chef certificate. You'll also be given a chance to sort of give the test for the code chef certification program, which is free with the 1 year or a 6 month subscription plan, which otherwise has a cost of, I think, around 7,500 rupees, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, like if you sort of opt for a 1 year or a 6 month subscription plan, you'll be able to get this sort of code chef certification for free. You'll be given a chance to give the exam for the code chef certification for free. Let me be clear about that. Now, coming on to the price, like the academy team has sort of maybe made this calculation, and I'm also sort of surprised to see that the expense will be even less than 90 rupees per day. So I hope we appreciate and sort of understand that this is not too much for what we are sort of providing. I hope this is understandable. So coming to the part that what exactly will you be getting, which if you pay and if you subscribe. So the first thing is like live interactive classes. So to get a taste of how live interactive classes are going to be, you can basically go to unacademy.com/@coder Pulkit C. Let me just sort of write it. Let me just share my whole screen and I'll just show you. So let's say I've shared my screen now. Yeah. So you can go here, and there are a bunch of special classes. To basically get a taste of how the special classes are going to be, you can open any class. Let's say let's open this shortest paths one, in which I covered Dijkstra's algorithm. So yeah, you can go and have a look at a bunch of special classes, wherein you'll get a taste of how exactly these classes are going to work. Okay. So yeah, one is this live interactive classes, like I said, in which an educator will be teaching, and there will be TA to assist you with the doubts. And apart from that, doubt support basically, not only in the class but after the class as well. So if you get stuck somewhere, if there is a topic which is not that clear during the class, although I do sort of personally, I do try to answer all of the doubts in the class itself, so that there is nothing left for you to be doubtful about. But yeah, the doubt support is still there. And the third is this practice relevant problems at CodeChef. After sort of every week, in a way, every after for every course, after 2-3 lectures, the relevant problems, the problems that are relevant to that particular lecture will be uploaded on the contest page for that particular course. and yeah, you can sort of practice there. And of course, like I said, a lot of problems will be covered in the interactive classes as well. But so why covering a lot of problems in the interactive classes? The reason behind that is, sort of trying to trying to sort of simulate the thought process of the educator in front of you, so that you can maybe learn how the educator is thinking and stuff like that. So after sort of having a look at how the educator is thinking and things like that, the second is you should be able to practice and solve those problems on your own. So for that, there is this relevant practice problem at CodeChef, where a separate contest page has been made for each course that is there. And uh, you know you can sort of practice. uh, and again, I already talked about the doubt support. So now, coming on to the topics that are going to be covered in this particular batch. Uh, so so we'll start with, we have already sort of started with sorting and searching, but just a couple of lectures have been held, and we have just discussed some of the sorting algorithms only, and the major chunk is yet to come. So it is like, if the whole batch is of 52 weeks, only 1 week has gone. So it is still not too late, but if you keep waiting, classes will sort of go by, and you'll just keep waiting. So yeah, it is not too late now as well. So starting with sorting and searching, we have discussed some of the sort of algorithms, like simple sorting algorithms like bubble sort, selection sort, insertion sort, counting sort, merge sort, and quick sort. And just to be sort of clear here, it's not just about discussing and sort of telling those algorithms. So for example, in quick sort, you guys may have heard of how that algorithm actually works. But the way I teached it was to sort of make the audience think of the algorithm itself. So taking a problem and asking the audience itself that how would you solve it, and sort of giving some hints and making the audience think the algorithm itself. And then we discussed about how exactly time complexity of uh, you know quick sort and log n, because this is something we just read and we just cram. So getting into the depth and figuring out all those things. For example, in binary search, why is it the case that we divide it into just two? Why not three? Why not divide the whole search space into three, and then see in which, like, basically, what I'm talking about is, why not ternary search? Why is binary search better than ternary search? And different applications of binary search in a way you may never have thought of before, in a way, uh, you know like not only just on that simple sorted array, on the answer, binary search on answers, binary search on some minimax problems, binary search on real numbers, in a way that if you want the answer to have a precision of 5 digits, how do you make sure that binary search helps you to take care of that, and all sorts of different stuff. So yeah, this is the course we have started with. The first 4 weeks will be devoted to this particular course, in which we'll be discussing sorting and searching, and then moving on to the next course, where we'll be discussing some basic data structures, like implementation of vectors and linked lists and stacks and queues, binary search trees, heaps, hash maps, and things like that. And then moving on to additional concepts in C++, where we'll be discussing things like memory management and how object orientation works in C++, and some STL concepts, like like the implementation of all these data structures is actually already done in STL. So discussing all that stuff, and from this to basically different algorithms that have already been implemented in STL, and how do they actually work, and sort of covering some of the problems that will be using those concepts in a way that maybe not that isn't maybe not that trivial, and things like that. And then moving on to greedy algorithms with classical problem solving, I think it is self-explanatory. And then in data structures 2, will be covering square root decomposition and some advanced problems. And then moving on to number theory and discussing things like primality test, Euclid's algorithm, sieve of Eratos. I'm sorry, I don't actually remember the pronunciation, so sieve, I'll just call it sieve. And uh, you know yeah, so things like that in number theory. And then recursion and DP, I know, I've heard from a lot of people that it is something that people are afraid of. But yeah, this is actually kind of one of my stronger topics, so we'll just cover it in a very sort of enjoyable and easy manner. We'll try to make this concepts easy. Like I've sort of heard that from some previous students that I tend to sort of make these sort of uh, concepts that are generally perceived to be tough easy. So for this discrete mathematics, we'll be covering things like combinatoric set theory and how sort of inclusion and exclusion principle and how to represent subsets. Okay, so after that how to calculate NCR values and factorials, and we would have already covered modular arithmetic and number theory, so how to calculate factorials and NCR values under model law, and how to apply those concepts in different coding problems. And I actually had a perfect score in discrete mathematics in my college, so I'm also sort of kind of good in kind of, it is also one of my stronger topics. So yeah, and then moving on to this graph algorithms, again it is also one of my stronger topics, and surprisingly I also believe that it is also one of the topics which people fear. So yeah, we'll also cover these all these graph algorithms, like starting with simple BFS DFS and going into depth like what is multi-source BFS, what is 0 1 BFS, then going to Dijkstra, how to use Dijkstra for multi-source shortest paths, and then going on to some other sort of shortest path algorithms, and not just studying the algorithm, but going into depth and understanding the actual working of the algorithm, and to be able to identify that this particular problem will be solved only by that shortest path algorithm only, by going into depth about the working of the algorithm and actually understanding on what intuition and sort of on what basis that algorithm actually works, right? So for example, there may be a problem that asks you to calculate the shortest paths in a manner that maybe the path length can not be greater than or equal to a certain number. Maybe you get in a question that the path length cannot be greater than or equal to 5. Then you know that Bellman Ford is something that works behind this principle only. Then maybe we should go to Bellman Ford. And and then in Freud Warshall, we know that it works with a way that after a certain phase, after k number of phases, there will be some sort of nodes which are allowed to be the part of the path, some are not, so that questions relevant to that will fit into something similar to Floyd Warshall and things like that. So that is how we'll be going into depth and covering what is the special about this algorithm, what is different about this algorithm from the algorithm that we have studied so far, which is what we did for quicksort and merge sort also in just the yesterday's class. Right. So then moving on to some more concepts like segment trees, advanced dynamic programming. Maybe we'll be covering multi-dimensional dynamic programming, like problems using multi-dimensional dynamic programming, and DP with bit masks and digit DP, and some of the some of the more advanced concepts. Right. Then in computational geometry, starting with simple sort of structures like area of a polygon and things like that, and then moving on to some sweep algorithms and how to find convex hull and things like that, and some miscellaneous stuff that we'll figure out when we actually in a proper manner plan this course. So yeah, and then going on to some ICPC regionals problem solving and world finals problem solving. Right. So this is how the basic structure of the course is going to look like. uh, like after just after I complete, I'll just also read the comments and answer some of your questions. So moving on to some other educators, because I have started out with the batch, and I'll be covering the first two courses for now, but it is possible that in the in the middle of the batch, maybe one or two courses may be taken by some other sort of mentor, if that makes sense. So yeah, some of the other mentors that we have, some of the other educators that we have are, you can see on the screen as well. We have Tanuj Khattar, who is a two-time world finalist. He is working with Google right now, and he has worked with Facebook in the past and then HFT in the past, and he has also been an IOI team trainer as well for almost 3 years. There's Sanket, who is currently working in LinkedIn. He has taught a lot of people. I think I've seen around I think around 7,500 plus students he's already taught. So he has a lot of experience in teaching. There's Ria again, who has a lot of experience in teaching. She currently works at Flipkart. She was also a former instructor at InterviewBit, and yeah. So we have Triveni again, who is a world finalist, and who has won multiple Code Chef long challenges. We have Deepak, again a world finalist. So maybe if you guys don't already know about how huge of an achievement is being the world finalist. So every year from India, if I'm to put it this way, I think less than 25 people get to be qualified for world finals. So if that makes sense. Okay. So some of the other educators are Nischay. Nischay here is an international grandmaster on code forces who is you know, I don't think more than 5 people from India have achieved sort of, cross that benchmark, in all time. So yeah, that's huge. So yeah, we have some other educators as well, like Murugappan, who's again a software engineer at Google. We have Himanshu, again an ICPC world finalist, and we have Vivek, who is a 7-star on Code Chef, and yeah. All right. So now, like I talked about the teaching assistant support. I'm sorry, this slide is a little outdated, but we do have a very better, we do have a much better sort of doubt support system now. There is a Discord server sort of, there is a Discord server, and there is a channel for each different course. Let me just give me a moment. I'll also show you that also. Uh, yeah. So let me just share my screen again. So if you see, there is a, in a way, channel for each sort of, course, and doubt solving is being done on this sort of platform. So people ask doubts, and TAs respond to them. Okay, so I hope that made sense. And then I talked about this practice problems. So for that as well, there is a contest for each sort of course, and people can sort of come and practice there. So apart from that, for this specific batch, what we are doing is, after every lecture, like at the end of every lecture, I'll be conducting a quiz within the lecture itself. After I've taught my part, and a quiz of generally 10 MCQ based questions is being done to sort of understand what the understanding of people for that particular lecture is. So that's one. Secondly, after every week there is going to be doubt session, in which I'll be present, and a live doubt session as well, wherein people can come and ask their doubts from the previous week if something is still not clear, and we can tackle that. And every week there is going to be a contest, where a 2-day long contest, where the practice problems relevant to that particular week have been added. It will be like a timed contest, so people will get to compete with each other as well. And then there will be one course level contest. So we discussed about there being different courses, right? So sorting and searching was one course, basic data structures was another course, and then we had some more courses as we went forward in time. So after every course there is going to be an assessment, which will consist of practice cost questions related to that particular course, and then there will be a sort of grand contest sort of thing after the batch itself, like when the batch ends. So there is a system in place to sort of keep a test sort of scenario and the competitive scenario, wherein people can practice and sort of compete amongst themselves. So I hope that makes sense. All right, cool. So now, coming on to how can you sort of enroll for this particular batch, and how can you sort of subscribe. So all you have to do is to go to codechef.unacademy.com, codechef.unacademy.com, and you'll be able to subscribe there. And if you click on subscribe now, you'll be landing on this particular page. So there are 4 different sort of subscription plans, and let me just be very clear here. It's not going to be like you subscribe for the batch itself. It's not going to be like that. How it's going to be even better. You subscribe for the competitive programming module, and if once you subscribe, let's say for example you take a 12-month subscription, since if you talk about this particular batch, the batch is going to be of 12 approximately, I think 12 months only. So let's say if you take a 12-month subscription, so it is not that you'll be able to just watch the content of this particular batch only. No, you'll be able to watch any piece of content that is which is either going on or has already been uploaded on the platform. So one, you'll be able to view all the courses that have already happened. For example, I took a graphs 1 course in September and then took a graphs 2 course in November. So the recorded lectures of those particular courses are still there, and you can watch them anytime during the time of your subscription. Second, you can watch live lectures of any course that is currently being going on, or any batch that is currently going on. So for example, if I talk about some future plans, like we discussed, this summit batch has just started. There is also a beginner batch that started a couple of weeks back. So if you are a complete beginner and if you have no sort of idea about any language constructs or any language, you can also subscribe you can also subscribe, because a batch just launched for that as well. So if you have some idea and you want to sort of come to the advanced level from an intermediate level, the summit batch has just launched a week ago. So for that particular batch, for the summit batch which I am taking, I already sort of told you guys that just 2 3 lectures, like I think 2 lectures, I'm sorry, 3 lectures have already been done, and in those lectures we covered some basic sorting algorithms, and you can of course have a look at the recorded lectures to get on speed, right? And then for the future plans, like I was saying, a DP course, a dynamic programming course, is planned to be launched in within a week, and an interview preparation batch is planned to be launched by January or February. Like according to like the interview preparation is still tentative, but DP is planned to be launched within a week. Within a week. So these are some of the sort of courses and batches planned ahead of time. And if you subscribe now for the summit, like with having this, by having this summit batch in mind, you'll also be sort of able to watch that content simultaneously. All right. So if you subscribe, otherwise you'll be I think this 12-month subscription is for rupees 33,000, but if you use this code Pulkit CP, you'll be able to get a 10% off on the platform. You'll be able to get 10% off on every sort of subscription plan. Yeah. So also, if you want to have a look at the special classes and get a feel for the platform first, for that as well, like I said, you can go to the Unacademy platform, have a look at different special classes. For that also, you'll need to have an unlock code to view the special classes. For that also, you can use this code Pulkit CP and look at some special classes that have happened in the past. All right, so I think this was it for the batch part, guys. I hope things are clear. Now I'll sort of read the comments as well to maybe answer some of your queries. And honestly, guys, generally I know कि ऐसा होता है, maybe people feel कि यार ये ज़्यादा लग रहा है, कुछ लग रहा है. But if you zoom out a bit and see, we pay lakhs of rupees in colleges, and I don't mean to sort of sound distasteful, but मुझे personally ऐसा लगता है कि जो मैंने पास्ट में कोर्सेज किए हैं, like I also have taken a bunch of courses in the past, उनका वैल्यू, like उनका sort of जो उन्होंने जो मेरे लाइफ में वैल्यू ऐड किया, it is much greater than the value that has been added by the lectures that I have attended in college, according to me. So regarding that, yeah. So regarding like I was speaking about that, I have also taken these courses in the past, and I really do believe कि उन्होंने मेरे को बहुत ज़्यादा help किया है. मैं honestly बताता हूँ, when I was in my first year, I did not know anything about programming, and I took up a basic data structures and algorithms course, and I think I paid around rupees 20,000 for that, and the course was for 2 months. And then when I sort of started programming, and I was like, जब मैंने CP start की and I was in the basic phase and I did not know about all those algorithms, फिर मैंने सोचा कि why not take a course and in a way in a way sort of get to know कि यार जो मैं पढ़ता हूँ और जो मुझे लगता है कि सही है, वो एक्चुअल में ही स्टैंडर्ड है या नहीं. तो I took up a competitive programming course as well for that, and I also took up a machine learning course by the end of my first year, जिसके लिए I paid rupees 25,000. These are very sort of true stories of my own life. तो आई रियली बिलीव टू दिस पॉइंट एज वेल कि उन्होंने मुझे बहुत हेल्प किया ग्रो करने में. दे सॉर्ट ऑफ हेल्प मी ब्रश अप सम कॉन्सेप्ट्स, एंड मे बी ऐसे कुछ कॉन्सेप्ट जो मैं अदरवाइज खुद से ढूंढ के ना पढ़ पाता, एंड बिकॉज द मेंटोर्स हैड दैट एक्सपीरियंस, and had spent years doing what I was learning, what I was so hoping to learn, they told those concepts to me on their own. So this is what we are sort of I'm asking you guys to do, that if you, of course, like अगर आप चाहो तो खुद भी कर सकते हो, and if you feel that this is something that you can do on your own, you can do on your internet, maybe you should just stop watching the stream and just get to doing the work. But if you think that you do need help, so we are here to help, and we have this plan which I have just presented in front of you, and I do hope that you sort of get the subscription, and I hope to see you in the next class of my batch. So this was it for from my side for this batch. Now I'll just try to read some of the questions that you have written on the chat. Okay, so someone is saying Pulkit did not become Pulkit by spoon feeding from some coaching classes. Come on, unless you are willing to put in extra answers, extra hours, finding finding solutions, reading other people, you won't be there. Absolutely right, hacker, like hacks you boy, absolutely right, to in a way to be actually sort of कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा बनने के लिए, this is something that you'll have to put in extra hours, you'll have to take things on your own, but that does not mean that having these coaching classes does not help. And even before reading your question, मैंने आपको बताया कि even I took up these courses. I took up a basic data structure and algorithms course and paid rupees, and the cost of which was around 20,000 rupees. And I then took a machine learning course again, जो कि 2 महीने का था, the cost of which was around 25,000 rupees. 2 महीने के थे वो courses, and then again I also took up a competitive programming course जो कि I think 1 महीने का था, और again paid up some money for that as well. So ऐसा नहीं है कि मैंने नहीं लिए हैं courses, I also have taken courses. All right, so Ganesh is asking, in what programming language will I be teaching? So to answer that question, what will happen is कि जो भी हम algorithms discuss कर रहे होंगे, of course I think that goes without saying कि they won't be language specific and they'll be valid for sort of all languages only. जब मैं क्लास में कोड लिख रहा हूँगा, I'll be writing the code in C++, but you'll be provided the codes for those sort of questions that have been covered in the class, or all those concepts that have been covered in the class, in Java and Python as well. So there's a GitHub repository, and we sort of upload the codes there. So वहाँ पे आपको Java में और Python में भी codes मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है? So some other questions that you guys may have, like I'll be glad to take those. Otherwise, maybe we can just end. Okay, so Vamsi is asking, will CodeChef certification be free for all 3 levels? Vamsi, just to sort of answer and be clear here, it's not like you'll be just getting the certification for free. You'll be given the chance to give the examination for free for all 3 levels. You'll be given the chance to give the examination for free for all 3 levels. I hope I answered your question. Rahul is saying, will we get placement assistance? So Rahul, to answer your question, I don't exactly understand what do you mean by placement assistance. So of course we'll be covering some questions that are highly asked in some in some companies, and sort of some standard questions which will help you in the placement process. And I also have sort of some experience with giving interviews and in different companies and things like that. So I do know things about that. So I'll make sure कि I cover things in both way, competitive programming point of view से भी, and placements and internships point of view से भी. I'm not sure if that's what you meant by assistance, but maybe I answered your question. Okay, so someone is saying, can we expect at least to reach candidate master or master level by enrolling in this? So Prashant, to answer your question, like let me be very honest with you. I'm not sort of going to make you a promise कि यार आप लोग पक्का पहुंच ही जाओगे. Like said, it very much depends on your sort of practice level and how much sort of effort do you put in. But what I can tell you is if you each of my classes and if you understand all of the concepts I'm teaching, and if you sort of stop me and बेशरम बन के अपने doubts पूछते रहोगे, and be very interactive and sort of all that stuff, stand up if you stand up for yourself if you don't understand anything, and just be on the same page that I am, and while teaching the sort of courses, and practice all of the questions that I've been giving, and be active when I ask the questions कि इसका आंसर क्या होगा, इसके बारे में सोचो, if I call out your name तो छुप नहीं जाओगे और बताओगे कि क्या है, like I generally do it कि यार I call out by name कि आप बताओ कि आपको क्या लगता है इसका आंसर क्या होगा. If you are that way, then I can sort of say that you can reach a candidate master or master. Otherwise I can't, I won't be taking any guarantee. I hope you understand. I hope I answered your question. All right. Okay, so I think we are mostly done with the questions. If you guys have any question, if any other question, related to the batch itself or maybe anything in general, please post it. I'll wait for a minute or so, and then we'll just end the stream. What graph topics are most frequently asked in CP contests? To answer your question, I think most frequently asked questions are related to shortest path algorithms, or are related to DFS or BFS. That's that's the most frequently asked according to me. Someone is asking period of batch. To answer your question, G86876 series. I already sort of told that कि ये वाला जो batch है, it will be almost 1 year long, and पूरा जो प्लान है वो भी कुछ टाइम पहले मैंने स्क्रीन शेयर करके आपको दिखाया था, तो आप थोड़ा पीछे जाके देख सकते हो. ठीक है. अदरवाइज एज वेल आप लोग मेरे अनअकैडमी प्रोफाइल पे जा सकते हो. मे बी इफ यू सर्च ऑन गूगल माय नेम एंड अनअकैडमी, पुलकित छाबड़ा अनअकैडमी, तो आपको मेरा प्रोफाइल दिख जाएगा वहां पे प्रोबेबली. तो आप वहां पे जाके आपको पूरी डिटेल्स भी दिख जाएंगी बैच की. ओके. सो व्हाट्स द प्राइस ऑफ दिस कोर्स एज अ होल? अभिषेक, ये भी मैंने अभी 2 मिनट पहले बहुत क्लियरली कवर किया. सो it is not like there's a price for this batch. Okay, there's a price for the subscription, for taking a subscription to the platform. So आप लोग unacademy.com पे जाके competitive module में जाके competitive programming module में जाके you can take the 1 year subscription. So once you take this subscription, there is no extra price for this course. सब्सक्रिप्शन का कॉस्ट मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले आप लोगों को बताया कि द सब्सक्रिप्शन कॉस्ट इज ₹33,000 per year. But if you use this code Pulkit CP, you'll be getting a 10% off. So after that, the subscription for the 1 year plan, if I talk about, will be since this batch is going to be for 1 year, for 1 year only. तो अगर आप एक साल वाला लेते हो तो it will be 29,000 rupees, 29,700 if you use this code Pulkit CP, which you must be able to see on your screen. All right. So someone is asking, can BTech first year students join this code? Any requirement any requirement which language do we need? So to answer this question, first year वाले बच्चे बिल्कुल join कर सकते हैं इस course को. And to answer your question, any requirement, so you need to know basic programming if you want to join this batch only. अगर आपको basic requirements, basic languages, basic programming concepts नहीं पता है, and लाइक किसी भी लैंग्वेज में पता हो, इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि एक पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज में पता हो. अगर किसी भी लैंग्वेज में बेसिक प्रोग्रामिंग कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं पता है, तो आपके लिए एक और बैच है विच इज विच इज एवरेस्ट. तो आप उसके बारे में देख सकते हैं. एवरेस्ट पे जाके यू कैन सर्च संकेत सिंह अनअकैडमी, एंड आप उनके प्रोफाइल पे जाके एवरेस्ट के बारे में देख सकते हैं. ऑलराइट. सो अगर आपको आइडिया है किसी एक लैंग्वेज के बारे में, तो दिस बैच इज फॉर यू. डजंट मैटर यू आर इन फर्स्ट ईयर और यू हैव ऑलरेडी पास्ड आउट ऑफ कॉलेज 1 year back, so doesn't matter. Okay, so I'll just take one more question. Someone is asking that level of graph for CP is same for the interview preparation as well. I read somewhere that in FANG the questions are easier than CP. Okay, so to be very honest with you, for this for answering this, it's not like ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि वो like what happens is कि it depends on what level you are in competitive programming. So like I've seen a lot of Google questions to, for if I take an example. So it is like कि हाँ, honestly if I tell about, if I tell you about it, मुझे जब मैं सवाल देखता हूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि यार ये तो easy है, तो पढ़ते ही दिमाग में आ जाता है, but वो तभी लगता है ना because I've done a lot of CP. So it's not like कि helping CP, doing CP is something different and like इससे फायदा नहीं होगा. So it's like कि अगर आप CP कर रहे हो तो आपको वो उल्टा और भी ज्यादा आसान लगने लग जाएंगे, तो फायदा ही है ना उसका. To answer your question, somewhat what you are saying is correct. They are easy, but what I'm saying is कि doing CP makes them look like a lot more easier, right? Okay, so I think, guys, we have covered most of the stuff, and we are also sort of थोड़ा time भी ऊपर हो गया है. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys enroll for the batch, and I hope you hope to see you guys in the classes. Lastly, just to let you know, to subscribe, you can just go to unacademy.com and you can use this code PulkitCP to get a discount on the platform. Bye. Thank you.